What's up, guys? You remember when I said in previous videos and live streams that Jerome Powell, the Fedman chair, is going to eventually cut interest rates? And right now, the market's recovering. I want to actually show you guys first before I get into an article. So, long story short, Jerome Powell, like 30 minutes ago, which right now it's 4:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, has announced he's hinting at rate cuts in September, which is on track. It's bullish, and I think the market's recovering because of the expected path of what they said they're going to do. Now, obviously, this could change. This could be manipulation. He could just say this, then September comes and he goes, "We're not yet at our goal yet," and say pauses it. But so far, I'll read the article with you guys. I haven't even gotten to it yet. Just have it opened. We'll see what he says. But first off, Bitcoin obviously is back to almost 64K. This is a crazy gain. In the past 7 days alone, it's up 7%, which is not a large amount of percentage points for an altcoin, but for a over $1 trillion market cap asset, it is, because it was 59K. In the past day, it's up 5.5%. That's pretty large for just one day, almost $4,000. So, or in this case, over three. Now let's check out some altcoins. Let's see where altcoins are at. Ethereum's up. You see how Bitcoin is up the most right now? This is what I said would happen. So when they cut the interest rates, a lot of whales and people that are holding their savings and high yield savings accounts, money market accounts, they're going to cut the interest rate. So they're going to force their hands to move their money into what's called risk on assets, which is Bitcoin. Bitcoin being the strongest crypto to be the hedge against inflation because it's fixed. It has the adoption more than any other coin, the track record. It's decentralized. It is safe. It is like the S&P 500 crypto for the entire market. That's how safe it is. That's why, even though Bitcoin is the largest market cap and shouldn't be outpacing these altcoins right now, that's why it's up, because people are expecting Jerome Powell to cut the interest rates, which means they're going to move their money anyway to Bitcoin, which is going to send Bitcoin to a rally, and it's going to trickle down to the altcoins. We're going to see an altcoin rally. Let's just blow up some more cryptos, see where they're at. Our block is at the previous all-time high last cycle, or I think it was like 2019 cycle. It was $1.63. Nice recovery here. Let's check out PNG. PNG is at 26 cents right now. Let's check out a couple more. Let's see how GFI is doing. GFI is almost back to $3. Not bad. Let's see LCX. LCX is still at a great price. Man, I might descend to this further. I've been saving up some money. Aerodrome is back to the 70-cent range. Not bad, even though I'm no longer holding this one. It's good to see. Let's see where Ford is at. I wonder if Ford is still down in price, which would be nice. Yeah, Ford is still at that 13-cent range. Very nice. So whenever I see rallies, by the way, for crypto, I always go down my watch list and see which coins are not rallying the hardest. And those are the ones I'll often DCA into. There are times where you want to, put money in the market. So keep that in mind. A nice rule of thumb for you guys. Now let's get into the article and see what they're going to say. So let's close this and get to the article. Dow closes more than 450 points higher after Fed Powell hints rate cuts are coming. This is 3 minutes ago, 4:14. So actually 10 minutes right now in real time before this video even started. Okay, July 9th in DC. All right. Stocks rose Friday as Wall Street cheered a signal from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell that long-awaited interest rate cuts are finally coming. The Dow closed 462 points, or 1.1% higher, on Friday afternoon. The S&P 500 for stocks gained 1.2%, and the NASDAQ composite added 1.5%. All three major indexes ended the week higher. Now, before you ask, well, why do we care about the stock market? Well, crypto every cycle is getting closer and closer correlated to the stock market. Remember, crypto is a different asset class than security stocks, but they're both risk-off assets, or risk-on assets rather. And risk-off assets are, savings accounts, money market accounts, certificates of deposit or CDs. So when one goes up, usually the other goes up in most cases because people have the money, the buying power, the confidence that their money will make them more money. When you have an inflated market, a highly inflated market, when you have a recession, people go in survival mode. They're not spending money on stocks or crypto or ETFs because now they're spending money on groceries, car loans, like the necessities, right? Rent, because they're not making much money. Their dollar's not doing that well. It's pretty much going down in value, and they're losing spending power by the day. And then when you got inflation with reduced wages, reduced work hours, people getting laid off, it just adds to the fact that people are not spending money to buy crypto and stocks. Hence why the market usually goes down in highly inflated markets. But now, because the inflation is going down to where the Fed likes it enough to where they want to cut the interest rates now, this is putting the market into a new cycle now to where they're going to want to, recover. It's going to recover the market, and you're going to see a huge rally. Right now, you're just seeing like a relief rally, in my opinion. But this is a early sign of what's to come, and especially in 2025. I cannot wait. Let's keep reading. Powell said Friday morning that the time has come. That sounds like my live streams when I say your time has come to an end. Does that sound pretty close? To adjust policy with rates currently perched at 23-year high. Damn. At a key economic summit in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. That's okay. Pretty significant. 23 years. Wow. He also noted that the labor market has cooled enough not to pressure inflation higher. Okay. And that the central bank does not want to see more weakening in job market conditions. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. While a September rate cut is essentially a done deal at this point, okay, that's good to know. That means they're most likely not going to deviate from this. The more important question is whether this will be a one-and-done rate cut or will it be the beginning of a new, more substantial cutting cycle. If that's the case, I would expect more dumps, and that would be a great last buying opportunity for us to buy these altcoins and maybe even Bitcoin at the final discounts before it really sees market rally. And that will be determined by the economic data over the next 2 or 3 months, which obviously could be manipulated. So we'll see what happens. Minutes from the Fed meeting released on Wednesday show that the vast majority of the Fed, the FOMC rather, would want to lower rates in September if inflation continues to slow down. So I guess we're going to monitor this. There's always a chance they won't do this if it doesn't hit their goal. Some officials note the importance of communicating that the Fed is data dependent and has no preset path. So that's pretty much their out. If they don't do it, that the data didn't reach their goals, and they're going to have to, wait and see. That's why probably the market is not really rallying, because even though he's making it sound like a done deal, because they're data dependent, anything can happen. Because data can get manipulated, again, anything can happen. So it's good. It's not bad, but obviously people are going to be on their toes, kind of just waiting to see what actually happens, what transpires, and what takes place. So some officials also fretted that the softening labor market could weaken considerably if policy stays restrictive for too long. Recent data has shown that U.S. job growth was weaker than previously estimated or manipulated in the 12 months leading up to March. The Bureau of Labor Statistics preliminary 2024 review of employment data indicated there were 818,000 fewer jobs during that period. My God, that is so many jobs losses. Again, if you're not working a job, you're not going to have much buying power. If you don't have much buying power, you're not going to have much money to even invest. You're going to want to use it, again, for necessities, rent, food, your kids, like yourself, healthcare, your car loan, your education. You're not going to have any money, especially if the dollar is getting weaker and more inflated to, invest. So keep that in mind. That comes as job growth has slowed down more than expected in recent months, worrying some investors that the U.S. economy is on shaky footing as interest rates stay at a 23-year high, which, again, I said before, we pretty much had been in a recession. It just wasn't announced because they didn't want to scare everyone. So, it's all like timing on their part. The slowing job growth, coupled with cooling inflation, has led traders to bet that the Fed will cut rates in September, hence the rally we're seeing, as well as in November and December. Hopefully we have that Christmas rally. And again, I am Santa John. I am Santa Claus. In case you guys are wondering, the truth came out. I got exposed. I am Santa Claus. It is true. While there's been some talk of a 0.5 point cut at the Fed's monetary policy meeting next month, some investors say that's unlikely to happen with the current data, since a move out of that magnitude would suggest that the economy is heading towards already in a recession. That's very interesting. I'm curious what you guys think on that point alone. Again, there's a lot of conflicting beliefs as to where we're heading economically wise and like what they're saying and what's actually going to take place. So this is very interesting. I will say that. Fears about an economic downturn have cooled since a weak July jobs report rattled markets earlier in August. Stocks have clawed back all their losses from the global market rout after a cool consumer inflation report and retail sales data restored optimism in a soft landing, which is what they say they want, but I don't think that's actually happening, or a scenario in which the Fed brings down inflation without triggering a recession. Again, we have been in a recession. I don't know why they're so scared about saying it. I guess they just don't want to cause massive panic, but I get it. Growth is slowing, but not yet slow, and this soft patch should not be mistaken for the onset of a recession. Growth scares are part of the economic cycle. In a Tuesday note, elsewhere, gold futures touch a record high. Yes, gold hit a new all-time high, which is also very significant. Let's see what else we can find. Data Thursday revealed that the sales of previous owned homes in the U.S. grew 1.3% last month, snapping a 4-month streak of sale declines. So yeah, the housing market probably is recovering just ever so slightly. We'll see what happens with that. A lot of this is correlated, guys. Sales fell 2.5% in July from the prior year. Okay. All right. So this is a very interesting article. I'm sure we're going to see more updates. But again, it's what are they going to do in September? Personally, I think they will cut interest rates in September. The only caveat is if the data is not to their liking and they pause it again, we're probably going to see a red September. But if they follow through, we're going to see a green September, like we're kind of seeing now today. So a lot can happen. There's no certainty in this market, especially when it comes to the Fed and any politician, rather. So this is just something to be aware of. Again, I make videos like this so you guys are more well-informed of what's going on. You can make your better judgment investment decisions accordingly. And by the way, if you want to reach out to me, talk to me, share crypto on buy and sell and trade next, join my like-minded group of financial investors, with over 45 already have made 6 to 7 figures. Join my conference call Q&As, my private live stream, see my profit-taking course. If you want this and more, then I encourage you guys to join WAP and Discord. I am currently running a 50% discount. It is ending in a week. September 1st is the last day, rather August 31st is, and it's just my, token of appreciation to you for supporting me and for my members who are migrating over from Patreon to WAP. And I just want to get back to you guys. So if you're interested, you can try it out. If you don't want to, totally fine. I'll still help you here. But anyways, now I want to hear from you. Do you think they're going to cut interest rates starting in September? Or do you think it's going to be paused yet again? Drop your comment down below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. It really helps so much. That being said, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.